Hello everyone, welcome to the Wild Acorns Art Studio channel. My name is Lisa Kester and I am the artist, I guess, what you call yourself, artist. Sometimes I wonder, you know how it is, everybody sometimes have doubts in their self, and it was, I don't know why, but last night I was laying in bed and I was thinking, I'm not an artist. I'm terrible. I was thinking I should just give up painting. Everybody goes through that. So I feel a little bit better today. but everybody has their different styles, and everybody gets like that. But anyway, I wanted real quick. So what we're doing today is I'm painting the bisque plates. So that's what the video is about. But real quick, so I ordered some new underglazes from Spectrum, and I didn't realize they had these. This is called Spectrum Glaze, but I believe this is a Maiolica. Well, I'm not sure. This is it's called Floating Glaze. This is Bougainvillea. Okay, that's this one here, and that's this here. So this turned out really cute. This is a plate I did. So this is the Bougainvillea 1447. Okay, that's why I did that one there. And then the green is this bright green, which I don't consider that really bright green. I did 3 coats. You can see that there. But this turned out the best, and I did add, you can tell there's a couple different colors, and I some of it's thicker, like really thick, and you can see where it's really thick it kept its color a little better. So I kind of like the Bougainvillea. I don't know, I have mixed emotions about that, but and then so then this one is Spectrum English Rose and the bright green. So the leaves on this one is this bright green here. Now you can tell, what did I say, English Rose? Oh no, this is English Rose. Okay, so this is English Rose 307, and these are Maiolica glazes. Now, Maiolica glazes usually go over a white glaze, but a lot of people, if you're using white clay, you really don't need to use the white underglaze. I never have. And I've never had any problems when I'm using the Amaco velvet underglazes. I mean, they turn out just like a Maiolica does. But anyway, so this one though, this is English Rose, and you can see, I mean, it burnt out almost completely. So this is the Maiolica color 307 English Rose, and yeah. So I put 3 coats on. Now these were fire to cone about 5.5. So underglazes really like to be on a low fire, but the Amaco velvets will go up to cone 5, 6. Well, I mean, they'll go to cone 10, which is pretty hot, but a lot of colors change at cone 10 and a lot burn out. Cone 5, if you put them on 3 coats, you pretty much get what you expected. I've never had too many problems with anything burning out. Like the green can turn brown, and the the red can burn out a little bit darker. But if you put 3 coats on, you really don't have that problem too much. I like to paint kind of watercolor style. So people who do paint with the underglazes watercolor style, you can get that, burning colors out, because you're trying to layer colors and you don't always put 3 coats on. So anyway, so the English Rose, I'm going to do another test. So when I do another test, I'll do another video on that. But yeah, that, you know, pretty bummed. That burnt out completely. And then I won't keep you here too long. Let's get on. Now this is the rose. This is the Spectrum Rose. You can see that pretty much burnt out too. I mean, you can hardly see it. That is the Spectrum Rose. So I'm not, you know, I'm not really saying these are wonderful glazes. I'm not real happy with them, to tell you the truth. And then the other one I got was a Spectrum Underglaze Hot Pink. And I thought it would be hot pink, but I just got a little bit. Now, this is actually called Underglaze, not, they're Myolica considered. Myolica, though, Underglazes are really the same as the Underglazes. But anyway, so this is the hot pink, and this is a 570. But I'm not totally happy with that either, because this is, I don't consider that hot pink. You know, I can make that with red and white. I mean, I was really hoping to be more of a magenta or a little bit hotter pink, but yeah, so not super thrilled with those. But anyway, it was worth a try. And I'm going to do another test at my studio and where I teach, and make sure I put maybe 4 coats on of everything and see if I can get some truer colors. Now, the kiln I fired those in, they may have gone closer to cone 6. So I'm going to make sure I, go back to cone 5, then I do a 20-minute hold. And a 20-minute hold really helps because I have people who use the flux on their pots and they like them to run more. So I try to do a 20-minute hold at the top temperature, which helps those fluxes run. You got to be careful too. You don't put them on the outside though, because they can run right off the pot on the kiln shelf, which I've been chipping a lot of kiln shelves, so I tell them be careful. But yeah, so but I'm going to fire a little bit lower with the 20-minute hold. That brings it up to about a cone 5.5. So they shouldn't burn out. They shouldn't really burn out at that. So anyway, I'm going to do another one of those. So, but this one, this one was kind of rough. I didn't do a very good job of smoothing the back of that. You really can't see that there with the glare of the light. But anyway, I'll probably keep this one for myself. We'll see how these turn out. But so I'm going to do my a little fish pond. Because, that when I look at some of the stuff I do, those are my favorite. I just love the little fish ponds and, the paint and the flowers. And so let's get started on that. It's quiet now. The girls, the kitty cats are sleeping, and Charlie just fell asleep here behind me. He had to get snipped last week, so he's, I don't know if you can see him or not. No, you can't see him over the table. Here, let me see here. I'll probably knock everything over. Hold on, go for a ride. There he is. He's sleeping down there. He's about 80 pounds now. Oh, but yeah, so he got snipped last week, so keep it. Oh gosh, hang on. What the heck? Oh, it's caught up on something. So anyway, yeah, he's trying to keep that cone on him was impossible. So we took the cone off his head. And so now we're just trying to keep an eye on him. So we give him bones and things to chew on to keep him happy. Okay, let's see here. All right. So here are my underglazes. And I have them on just in a bead box. These are all Amaco velvet underglazes. I don't know. Those have been my favorite. I've tried other ones, and sometimes they, I don't know. I haven't tried a whole lot of other underglazes. There's a lot out there now. Didn't used to be that many out there, but now there's quite a few. So I'm going to add a little bit of water to them because they've been sitting a couple weeks. But this lid keeps them pretty moist. So, and then I make sure you sponge your bisqueware off. Do not paint on bisqueware that just came right out of the kiln. Because, you know, our bisqueware is dusty when it comes out. And some people say, oh, mine's not that dusty. But I don't know. Ours are. Maybe I need to vacuum the kiln out, huh? All right. So let's see here. I'm going to try to decide what I'm going to paint first here. I think I'm going to do the blue bottom here first. I just went through and sorted all my brushes into the good brushes and the mediocre brushes, and I just got to hide them from my cats. Yeah, this looks like a good one. I just got to hide them from my kitty cats so they don't chew them up. And I think they just play with the hair on them. Then they spit them out and throw them on the floor. And then Charlie chews them up. So, okay. So this is my little palette that I have. And just an old lid for a bucket. That's my palette thing. And I'm mixing colors. So I think... Now, remember, so the colors you see here, even though they're wet... When you paint them, they will. When you fire them, they will be darker. They will be darker and a little bit brighter, but they'll be pretty close to what you see here. But I always want to add. I always want to lighten them up a little bit because I don't like the bright colors. And I'm going to add some water to this brush, and by adding a little bit of water to the plate. It helps the paint flow a little better. So this is going to be the water. Now, I did buy a glaze. What is that? I think I took it to where I work with me. I can't think of the name of it. Catalina Crackle, I think it is. It's a beautiful translucent blue that's beautiful for water. It makes it look like water. But the problem is it's not really considered food safe. And of course, since this is a plate, I don't want to have to, you know, if I did sell it, I don't want to risk somebody getting a shard of glass in their food. I mean, that would be bad. So see how it doesn't like to blend real well because it's, you know, underglazes are basically just clay with pigment, you know. I don't want it to be perfect anyway because I want it to look like water. I always do the light blue. I've seen them with the dark blue before, but I think I like the light blue. You know, that's one thing you got to think about when you're painting something that's going to have food on it, is that, well, obviously, one, is it food safe, but also, is it appealing? You know, I mean, unless they're going to hang the plate on the wall, is the plate, the design you put on it, is it going to be appealing once you put food on it? Some plates that are really busy and have a lot of bright colors and busy colors, and I don't, to me, I don't find that very appealing when I'm putting food on the plate. I don't know, it doesn't complement the food. And so I like more subtlety when I'm painting on plates. It's kind of, you know, it's weird. I mean, I love color, And but but my favorite set of dishes is all white. They look just like this, but they're all white. I got them for my wedding. I got them as a wedding present 42 years ago. And they're all white with no color, but they're my favorite dish, favorite plates. I think because you can use them for Christmas, you can use them for Halloween, you can use them for any holiday, and it doesn't matter because since they're white, they match anything. And so I always put the charger plates underneath the white plates. So I have orange charger plates for Halloween, and I have blue for the summer. I got aqua for the summer, and then for Christmas I have some gold and some red. So and it's not like we have a lot of dinner parties. we really don't have any. It's very rare we have people over. We're just we're very, I guess, quiet people. Although some people wouldn't call me quiet, but we're kind of introverts. So you know how that is if you're an introvert. It's like you go out, and you all happy and speak. Well, I can't speak at places. I'm like a nervous wreck. I'm not good up on a stage. I get too nervous. I'm so afraid I'm going to forget what I was going to say, but I was always like that ever since I was, growing up. We had a neighbor bully who kind of bullied us, and I think that changes you. I really hate bullies. I'm sorry. I really hate bullies. I wish our schools could be stronger, more strict about bullying, and but not that it's the school's responsibility, it's the parents' responsibility, but kids are in school most of the time or in daycare, and so unfortunately kind of falls on the teachers, but that changes, so I hate to speak in public, or I wasn't one of those kids who ever raised my hand in class. I actually sat in the back, tried to hide out. Let's see. Let's add another color. A little bit of this orange here. This orange looks white, but it's just it's I don't know. I don't know what the ingredient is, what the mineral is that comes up to the surface, but it's something to add it in there, but it won't hurt it or anything. But yeah, it's like you go do something public, like if you go to Unsika or something like that, or at a big conference, or if I do an art show, it's like I can't wait to get home. I've always been kind of backwards. Okay, so I'm putting little fishy in here. I probably got my face in there. Can you even see him? I had a little too much white here, so I'm going to kind of go over that. That's a nice thing about underglazes. You just cover them up. Watercolors, you can't really do that. Watercolors, you got to be very strict about what you add, because there's no going back. With watercolors, you start with the lightest color first and then darken it as you go. But with acrylics and probably oils too, although I can't say I've ever used oils. But with acrylics and underglazes, I've always started with the dark and go light. So put your darkest colors down first and then lighten it up as you go. I'm trying to lighten up the top a little bit just to kind of have the look of a fin on the top of their bodies here. Now, when I use the Catalina Crackle and I put the orange goldfish underneath, the fish kind of burned brown underneath. And I think it's really just the blue and the orange mixed together that made your goldfish look brownish. So I wasn't real happy how those turned out. So I thought the next time I do a plate with the Catalina Crackle, although I don't know if I'll do that. I just love the color, but like I said, it's not food safe, so that's kind of a bummer. It's because of the crackle. You know, they say that you can get, well, I mean, I guess shards can break off if it's crackled, but I don't put it on thick enough to have it crackle too much. The thicker it is, the more it'll crackle. But two shards could, break off in your food, which obviously is not a good thing. Let's see, let's put a little bit more of, put a couple of more little fishies over here. This will be such a fun plate. I think I'm going to keep this one for myself. We'll see. I always sell everything. Or I keep the ones that, don't look good. We probably all do that, don't we? We keep the misfits. I have a plumber buddy who comes over. Whenever he's here, he's always looking for misfits. He's got a whole mug collection of mine by now, I think. So I think I'm gonna put a lily pad. I'll put a lily pad on here. I've mixed up some green. I don't know if you can see it, but it probably won't soften up before in time for me to use it, because I'm not going to sit here for a half an hour and wait, so I'll probably just go ahead and, let's see here. I think in this case, I'm going to use a lighter green. Now this is when I mixed up, because the chartreuse they were out of it, so I had to mix up my own chartreuse. I think I'm going to put one next to it too. Maybe I'll do another one. They look kind of like hearts, upside down hearts. I'm sure you can't even see that, so I'll have to hold it up. I wanted to make a video early this morning. It's about 4 o'clock here on a Sunday afternoon. And you can see it's raining again. It's been kind of raining on and off all day here in Cincinnati. But then I started moving furniture in the living room, which I'm really good at. My family just laughs at me because I'm always moving furniture. Our dog Charlie, he's a Pyrodoodle, part Great Pyrenees and part Poodle. He likes to hide his ball between the chair and the table, and it drives us crazy because he'll hide it and then he'll bark and bark and bark until you get it. And then as soon as you give it to him, he throws it back under the chair or between the table, and he barks and barks and barks. And his bark is so loud, it gives you a headache. So I had to figure out a way to minimize his hiding spots. Sometimes we just get up and take the bowls and throw them out of the house. That's why I gave him a bone today, to keep him more quiet. Okay, so I got three little lily pads there. Maybe you can see with the glare a little bit. I'm gonna put kind of go around the edge here a little bit. This isn't my usual green either. This is I think it's just called green. But most of my colors, I've kind of blended them, so they're really not the colors out of the jar. They're pretty much custom colors at this point. And it's, it's hard to say what's going to burn out and what's not. It's because I'm not going to add 3 coats of this green, so in fact I'm going to go back over with the light green and add a little white too, I think. I love lily pads. I just think they're the neatest leaf. I used to get some from a lake and make plates out of the giant lily pad leaves. I should do that again. What I did was I took one leaf and then I made an imprint of the leaf on a piece of clay, and then I fired it to a bisque, and then in that way I didn't have to steal any more leaves. I just used the imprint. And you can do that with anything. Now I will outline this with black, of course. Boy, the rain's starting to come down harder. The flowers will be happy. All my my daffodils are all standing up straight, and so they'll like the rain. These will look a little more like lily pads when I put the black on there. But so I think I've got the lily pads. Let me put. I think I'm gonna go ahead and put some eyeballs on the fish. Although I was going to just use my pen and do it, but my applicator bottle. What I'm doing is getting some black here and remember not to fire the oolites that come out of these. If they've been sitting a while, I'm going to let this tray get completely empty, clean it out, and I'm not going to add any new glazes until I've used up all of these, because I'm starting to get oolites, more and more oolites, because it's been sitting a while. Oh man, that's let's see. That brush isn't going to be narrow enough. I need to get some of that off of there. Here we go. I just love little fishy. I've got a little fish pond outside on my patio. That's got some goldfish in it. And then I got a little bit bigger pond further back in the yard that we're going to have to unfortunately take out this year because the trees have grown over it and they drop so many leaves in the pond. And we tried putting a net over it, but it kept blowing off, and it was just so hard to keep the leaves out. And if the leaves decay in there, they will steal the oxygen out of the water, and then your water smells like the sewer come spring, and it'll kill most of the fish in there. We usually find a bunch of dead frogs in there because okay, and then I'm gonna try to clean my brush and get a good point on there. Add a little bit more water to this. And I'm gonna usually I do this with my applicator bottle, but I thought I'd try this way. Why not? It's not going on quite as dark as the applicator bottle does because this is more watered down, but which might be a good thing. I'll fire this one and see if I really like the look of the paintbrush versus the applicator bottle. But trying to decide on what shows to get into this year. I didn't do a whole lot last year, so, and now I'm piling up on the pottery and then the artwork that I've been doing. It's getting thick. I got piles of artwork, and oh my goodness, somewhere I gotta sell some of this stuff, right? So there I am so far. You can see the little fishy. So now I'm going to put the grass on the side. And then I'm going to put the rocks on top of the grass. But the grass is easier if you put your grass or your flowers, whatever you're going to put on the side. It's a lot easier if you do that before you put the rocks around the outside. So I'm going to go in with my dark green first. I hope you guys can see that. So I'm putting the dark green on here, and then I'm going to go over it with the light. And try not to have them, you know, that uniform, it's really hard to not. I tend to want to do them all uniform. That's always one of my one of my faults, I guess, is that I want them to all match up, you know, and it's not a good thing. You don't want them all the same height. You don't want them all the same thickness. You don't want them the same amount. Sometimes that's why I paint faster, because you know, if you think too much, and you've got them all uniform. I think I just kind of made a little bit of a, well, I was going to say I made a boo-boo. I should have cleaned up some of this underglaze. I really don't want it up in the grass too much, but I'm not going to worry about it. This is probably going to be, like I said, I'll probably keep this one anyway. Okay, so now I got the dark on. So now I'm going to go back with the green. In the meantime, I'm going to spray. I had mixed up some brown over here, so I'll try to salvage some of that brown. Okay, so now I'm taking the green, and debating whether I should add a little bit of white to the green. So I had this. Remember I added some water to this green over here. I don't know if it's salvageable or not. I don't want chunks in my paint, so. And this brown's really getting runny. I don't like that. I'm gonna dump that out into the water bucket because I don't think I want that. But I am gonna add a little bit of white to the green, so I don't end up with just a solid color. I've got the dark green underneath, but I still don't want a solid color. So. Okay, so can you see how I've got the green and the white? You can't really see the white very well. It looks like the tray, but I'm not gonna mix it up all the way. I'm just gonna blend it a little bit. Okay. So in some places you'll be able to see the dark green underneath, and some not so much. So these plates have been bisqued to 04. This is B Mix 5 with the grog. So they're not as smooth as B Mix without the grog or porcelain or something like that. It's nice to paint on plates that don't have the grog, but if you don't have the grog in the clay, your clay is much more susceptible to warping and cracking, and especially on plates that are flat like this, and like platters. It's so important to get that even drying. Get them off the bat as soon as possible, and put them on a shelf that's serrated or so that the bottom will dry evenly with the sides. Because the reason you get the S cracks is because the sides are drying before the bottom, and it causes a stress. And some clays will do that too. Like if you buy a bunch of clay and they just made it, it's called short. Sometimes the clay is short, which means it doesn't have it hasn't been sitting around long enough, and it doesn't have a good amount of elasticity. The older the clay, the better, some people say. So if you buy new clay and everything's cracking, chances are it's not you, it's the clay. Sometimes people take the bag back, but you just got to kind of baby it a little more. Make sure it dries evenly. It's probably better not to cover it. We always cover ours with plastic, but it's probably actually better to cover it with a sheet, something that breathes, So I'm coming up a little bit higher on some of these. So, okay, so there's that. There you go. And let's see here. I'm going to do some more bowls and things with that. Oh, I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to do that with the Catalina Crackle if it's not food safe. I want to make some more bowls, though, with the Catalina Crackle. I love that stuff. So I'm going to take some brown here for my rocks. I shouldn't be doing that right over the top of my plate. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of water to it before and then I'm gonna rinse the brush out. I just don't know if I have enough of the brown there. I'm gonna add a little bit of white, because again, I don't want all my rocks to be the same color. I should probably always make them brown, but really rocks are gray. I'm going to add a little of this black over here, I think. If I splatter this black all over my plate, I'm not going to be happy. But there we go. I made some gray over here. Add just a touch more water. Hopefully it won't be too runny. I'm going to add just a little bit of black. And just a little bit more white. Okay, now let's see what these look like. I'm always pulling cat hair out of my paint. Okay, so that looks good. Okay. This is another one of those things where you can't go too slow, because if you think about it too much, all your rocks are going to end up, you don't want them the same size. You don't want them all lined up evenly. See how they look? And you can see, I don't know if you can see on there, there's some black in there, a little bit of white. Now, like I said, I don't know how they'll fire. You know, they could fire all one color, but that's all right. I'm not really worried about the rocks. Let's see. I'm trying to angle this so you guys can see what I'm doing. I haven't got this camera thing down pat yet. I don't know how people put it over their head and then they can't see what's being shown in the camera. If I can't see what you guys are seeing, I don't always know if I'm in the camera or what the heck is being taped. So I'm trying to go back and add a couple of big ones because I don't, like I said, I don't want them all the same size. There we go. Okay, gotta rinse that brush out good. I ruin more brushes because I don't rinse them out very well. And I do use this, I'm not very good about using it as much, but this soap, which is really good. It's called Natural Soap Infused Scrubber. It's a scrubby. It easily removes paint, oil, dirt, grease, and more. And mine's all dirty. Usually it comes looking pretty clean. But you can, so it's a soap. It's soap underneath. You can get this on Amazon. I'll put a link in it if I remember. So it's soap underneath. It's like an orange scented soap. It smells really good. And then the sponge is on top. So you just take your brush and you go around in circles like that. Like that. And it really cleans it nice. Like I put a little bit of water in there usually. I need to be better about it and clean my brushes better. I'm lazy. Okay, so let's now I think I'm ready to underline. Just trying to get that, because you know the underglazes, since it's got clay in it, the underglazes have grit, you know, like a little bit of sand thing in there. So I'm going to set that aside and move this back, and I'm going to get out my applicator bottle, and I hope it all works. This is a Xiem, X-I-E-M applicator bottle with a 20 tip. See, it's got a yellow tip. I think that's probably medium size in there. I think they have them bigger. But if you get them bigger, it runs out, and you have a thicker line. And if it's smaller, it gets clogged up a lot. So always try it out first on your napkin. I got paper towels out the wazoo over here. Let me move over just a little bit. I got Charlie underneath my seat, so I gotta be careful. Sometimes I get up and then his tail sticks under the wheels of my chair, and I pull out a bunch of white fur. He's like, have you guys ever watched Funny Farm? That is the cutest darn movie. It's Chevy Chase and I can't think of the girl's name, but it's about a sports writer who moves out to the country to write his first book, and things don't go that well. But so they get a dog, and they call him Yeller Dog, and he's he's an older dog, and I mean he'll be laying there, and his tail's in the fire, and they got to get his tail out of the fire. It's a comedy. It's like a romantic comedy. It's old though, but it's so funny. Okay, so I think I'm going to do the grass first. I hope you can see this. I don't know if I do it way up here. I can't. Let's see here if I can move you a little bit closer. Remember last time the camera fell right out of the thing? Okay, let's see. Bring it a little bit closer. Okay, no, that's not working. Let me reshift just a tad. I told you I wasn't very good at this camera stuff. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna shake this up a little bit better. Hang on. You don't want, make sure you cover the tip of this when you shake it. Because I've already taken the pin out. Oh, there we go. Okay. Look at this. You can see I've been painting with watercolors and acrylics. Look at my paper towels. They're kind of pretty. But I just keep saving them, keep reusing them and turning them over. And I hate to waste paper towels because that was a tree that was cut down. Okay. Back to business here. Oh man, hold on, I got it on me. And you don't want it on you because you're going to get it all over the plate. Now, when I'm done here, I'm going to put a clear zinc-free glaze on here. It doesn't really matter as long as it's zinc-free. I hope you can see better than I can, because I can't. This isn't. I don't know any way to do this besides doing it like this, so you'll be able to see it when I go around. So the faster, you always want to pull the applicator bottle away from you. Otherwise, you're going to get chunks of the underglaze in the tip, and it's going to constantly get clogged up. And I can tell I have a little bit too much. I'm trying to figure out how to do this the best. I can tell I have a little bit too much water in this applicator bottle because it's going on kind of thick. The quicker you move, the thinner your lines will be. Oh yeah, I'm gonna sell my horse trailer that I turned into a pottery retail shop. I'm gonna go ahead and sell it because I don't really feel comfortable anymore taking it to places and backing it in. I don't know. Usually my son who's has disabilities goes with me, and he's the one backing me in, and my insurance company doesn't really like that idea. So I'm going to sell the horse trailer, and I'm just going to buy a shed and turn it into my pottery she shed. So I'm pretty excited about that. My only problem is I don't know if my neighbors will complain about it because the spot it's going in isn't really zoning approved. So I hope nobody out there is zoning. I'm going to try to hide it as best I can from the street. Oh, and I wanted to tell you too, this is Amaco Velvet Jet Black Underglaze. The Jet Black is really nice. So when you're filling up these bottles, you're going to want to add a little bit of water to it. And remember, if it drips out, you've added too much water. If it's constantly clogging up, you need to add a little bit more water. Or you let it sit in here too long and you need to squeeze it back out or run it through a sieve, like a 60 or 80 sieve, and get the oolites out of it and get the chunks that have hardened up, get them out of there. Now this will, this black will lighten up a little bit when it dries, but it is a little bit watery. But at least it's not clogging up. I had problems with it clogging the last time. So, okay, so I got all the grass done. I don't know if I'm going to do the goldfish or not. I don't think I'm going to. Then I'm going to do the rocks. The thing with the goldfish is it outlines them and makes them look like they're sitting on top of the water, kind of. Not like they're under the water. It makes them stand out a little too much, I think. I've kind of gone back and forth about that, but kind of decided I'm not gonna outline them anymore. And I think I'm gonna like how this, since I did this with a paintbrush, this is gonna be softer than the outline here on the rocks and the grass. I'm hoping to do a glaze firing at the end of this week, and then I can update you guys on all the other stuff I've been glazing. I just don't do any firing here at the house anymore. I'd love to build some kind of a big shed out back, and put a big studio there, but we have a weird yard. We have like an L-shaped. We're not a corner yard, but we're on a bend. So it is kind of like a corner. And most of our property is like over the hill. It's got a hill and woods. It's just not in, the yard that's out front and the side yard, which is level, you're not really supposed to build out there because it's in front of the house, which with zoning, they don't really allow you to do that. So, well, I sure have to, this will lighten up. I hope it lightens up. It's a little dark. So now I'm going to go back. I'm just going to add a few little dots. That looks like, sand and pebbles, and you guys who follow me know that I do this in all my artwork, and I don't know why, I don't know where I got it from, but let's see, where did I stop? This is going to be so cute. I've been off of Etsy for a while, so I'm going to try to set up my shop back on Etsy and see if they'll let me change my name, because it started out as Imaginary Glassworks, because I used to do stained glass, which I'd still like to get back doing some of that too, but maybe when I retire from teaching, I can go back. It's just not enough hours in the day. But I do want to make some clay frames for my stained glass. It didn't work out what I was doing at first. My nichrome wire just the stuff I bought did not hold up in the kiln. It became very brittle and broke a lot of it. I know people use it all the time. I don't know if I just got a bad batch or what, but I didn't like it. So anyway, so there you go. Yeah, so the ceramic frames I'm gonna make, I gotta do them differently. So I'll be doing some of those videos too. But gosh, I got too much stuff going on. So now this is gonna dry, and I'm just gonna paint. I'm gonna use my Amaco brush here. Get yourself a nice fluffy Amaco brush. This is this one's, I love these things. This is a Amaco number 8 soft fan. CB, C is in Charlie, B is in boy, 618. So you don't want one of those with 10 bristles. You want a nice fluffy one. And then you're gonna dip it in your clear glaze, zinc free, and fill it up. Get a lot of glaze in it. Pump it just like that. And then you're going to just lightly put a light coat on. Don't brush it. Don't press too hard. Let it dry. And then put one more coat on and you're done. Do not put more than 2 coats on. These brushes apply glaze pretty thick, so it's about 3 coats. But clear glaze can go cloudy if you put 3 coats on. At least that's been my experience, and especially on dark clay. Dark clay, you really got to be careful. So anyway, that is all I have for today. I'm gonna do some other plates. Maybe I'll do a video of those too. But we're already of an hour, so I gotta get off of here. YouTube won't like me. But anyway, thanks for watching. I sure appreciate it. Remember to hit subscribe, and there we go. Look, it stopped. I thought maybe it stopped raining, but it doesn't look like it. I think you're kind of crooked. Don't fall out. There we go. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hit subscribe if you like my channel, and please share, because that really helps me, get my videos out there. And I will see you. Now this. I'm going to fire this, and I'll add the fired photo to the front of the video. Probably not this week, but probably the following week it'll be up there. So anyway, but that's what I did, and it'll look almost just like that. So not going to be a huge change, but anyway, thanks so much. You guys are the best.